Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We do apologize for that technical difficulties there. But nevertheless, you know, we live on Synergy TV. So what I'm going to tell you to do now is tell your friends, tell your family, tune into Real Talk with Saieed Ali live on Synergy Television now. Those of you up the Caribbean, around the globe, those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, a special good night to you. You know, I always encourage you to share our live stream on Facebook and YouTube. So viewers, it's Bacchanal Thursday here tonight, Thursday the 7th of October 2021, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Our phone numbers are 238-6716. Remember, you can call in live on our program to give your comments, issues that are affecting us. Feel free to do so, viewers. So as we start off our updates tonight, the Ministry of Social Development have stated that checks related to the 2020 COVID-19 social support are now available for collections. Collections will be facilitated at its head office located at Clico Building, St. Vincent Street in Port of Spain between October 7th and 20th, 2021. A schedule will be followed based on the letters of first names. Persons from Tobago can collect their checks at the Social Welfare Office located at Wilson Road in Scarborough. Those checks will be available from October 11th. So that is in Tobago from October 11th. The ministry also added that persons collecting their check must present the identification card used when they applied for the COVID relief. Now viewers, this relief was since in 2020, you know. So those of you who have to get put out, you get put out already. Those of you who didn't have groceries, well, you're starving. From 2020, we're in 2021. October, November, December. 3 months for 2021 to finish. And we now collecting social development checks from 2020 COVID-19. Let me tell you something. We're moving forward very fast. That is what you call production. And we want first-class law in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to grow into a digitalized age. But we take 1 year. 1 year to get a COVID-19 check. 1 year. Just imagine that. How sad it is. It's stinking sad. It's stinking sad. 1 year just to collect a COVID-19 related check. And you know the sad thing about it? It is social support. It's a stinking sad thing in Trinidad, yes? Take what I telling earlier. It's sad, sad, sad. Look how fast they put property tax. They send it in your mail. It's in your mail. A couple months about get over property tax, you're getting it in your mail already, the forms. But since 2020, this is almost the end of 2021, and we're now collecting social checks for COVID-19. How you find we doing? Good? We're doing good. Government doing a great job. So if you had to die from 2020, you're dead already. If you had to get put out, well, you're on the streets like vagrant. And you know what? We as Trini, we okay with that. We're good with that. I get my check 1 year after. Call a good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
So yesterday program, I talked about if unvaccinated police officers could go into safe zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard today in the news that only vaccinated police officers will go in the safe zone.
Yes, yes.
However, here's this piece of madness. One attorney is asking the government to amend the law, the health regulations, so that unvaccinated public health inspectors could enter safe zones. You ever hear any more madness?
That is real madness.
See, yes, it is the national news tonight. That is the look. All the rest, have a great evening.
Thank you, my friend. That is madness. But let me tell you something. This country going and shut down like Ethiopia. All I want to know what really hit us. Take what's telling all you. All I would want to know what hit us. So a businesswoman called me today. She said, Saieed, I am a businesswoman. I am allergic to sulfur and I cannot take the COVID-19 vaccine. So she said to me now, so what am I to do? What am I to do, Saieed? I have stocks in my business. I cannot take the vaccine because of the allergic reaction. I have bills to pay. I have loans to pay. I have mortgage to pay. I have car loan, house loan, stocks in my business. What am I to do? Did the government cater for people like me? I said, well, moms, well, I can't answer your question. So I said tonight now I will raise it. So is either the Ministry of Health come up with some plan, or with Chief Medical Officer, Roshan Parashram, or the man who owns all the hospital in Trinidad, Mr. Dayal Singh. What do you have in place for the persons that are allergic to the COVID-19 vaccine? What are you going to do with them? And if they are business people, how are they going to survive? I tell you now, watchman, man, is the vaccinated and unvaccinated getting COVID, you know? All I feel is a joke. All I feel the heads that run in Trinidad and Tobago, it's proper. Like I said, if they want to make themselves a clown, I would laugh at you. So here it is. Trinidad and Tobago is among 47 countries and territories removed from the United Kingdom's travel red list, which will take effect from October 11th. This means fully vaccinated passengers returning to England from this destination will no longer be required to enter hotel quarantine. It advised that eligible full vaccinated passengers and eligible under 18 returning from countries and territories not on the red list can do so with just a 2-day test. 2 days is 48-hour test. Colombia, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Haiti, Panama, Peru, and Venezuela will remain on the red list. Caller, good night.
Good night, good night. Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saieed, you know, we have to talk about when you take the vaccine, people sign a waiver. And if say, like I have a son, and say I go to vaccinate, something happened to me and I drop dead, right? Is somebody going to look after my son? And the next thing, I want people to understand as well, how about your insurance policy, your life insurance? Why we not talk? If say I die, would my life insurance pay me if I drop dead from taking a vaccine?
Nice question.
Good question. That is a boss question.
Yep.
That is why I want everybody to hear. You see, when people sign that waiver, nobody gonna mind my wife or my child.
True.
Right? And we have to find out too, would your life insurance pay for all that money I paid in insurance? Would we get that money? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. And the next thing, I heard that somebody recently had got the Delta, right? Who was vaccinated. So these things called safe zones are not safe.
I understand.
It's definitely not safe. And what is that causing? That's causing a big problem. Look at children in school side.
Correct.
Right? You have vaccinated could go to school, right? And then you have teachers who, whether they're vaccinated or not, right? So it could go either way. A vaccinated child could give my child COVID. And not only that, my wife is a teacher, and we have a little son. So when when she goes to school, who's going to take care of her son?
True.
Right? So we have a lot of issues that not being dealt with.
Yeah.
Correct. And next thing, one more thing before I go side. I know a lot of children personally who took that vaccine in hospital, and one died just day before yesterday. And we're not hearing about this.
They are afraid.
I'm not hearing about this. I'm tired now. I'm really tired. This is crazy. This is murder. This is murder. Just how we say a man come in my house to shoot me. This is no different.
Correct.
Right? And
Correct.
we have the we have now. Next thing, all governments are of their own interest. Governments could be bought out. That's what's going on. Let me tell you something, Said. They couldn't give the people who want some food, they couldn't find them. But they could go and find everybody to vaccinate them. They could go in every crease, carry their van or whatever they're doing and vaccinate everybody. That alone should be a red flag. Right? Because I've never heard the word vaccinate so often in my life. And after this COVID thing, I can tell you this Side. We don't want to hear more vaccination again in my lifetime. You know? Right? Because this thing is being pushed down people's throats.
Yes.
And they're threatening people's jobs, people's livelihood.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. So viewers, there's a lot to talk about that is not into the public domain, and that is why I am here to bring the issues that they are not discussing into light. So viewers, there's lots more right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali, but it will only happen after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host Saieed Ali, consultant and real estate businessman.
Can't watch Real Talk on TV? Have no fear. You can also watch Real Talk on the go live on YouTube and Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali on YouTube.com and TT Real Talk on Facebook.com. Don't forget to like us and share us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact Real Talk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At Real Talk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. Real Talk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. The Ministry of Finance has released a comprehensive list of food items that will be free from value-added tax, that is VAT, come November 1st, 2021. The release noted that the list given in Parliament was not the correct list, but was simply designed to illustrate some of those or most commonly purchased items in supermarket by most households. So you go into Parliament with a list to make a demonstration and it's not the correct list? Or is it when you realize that the list they come with, it is already zero rated? Talk now. Some of the item includes vegetable soybean, coconut oil, black pepper, and other spices, cereals, milk substitutes, coffee, tea, juice, water, canned tuna, peas, vegetables, soya, and a variety of biscuits. Biscuit, just imagine that, eh? All look good, yes? All look good. All look going to Parliament with a demo. So then everything all saying in Parliament is a demo. You see how fast they just pull back things? You see how fast? when they tell themselves the public not listening, Saieed listening to everything they're saying. The Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago is satisfied with the Ministry of Finance revised and expanded list of food items to be made VAT-free. SAT President Rajiv Dipti said, the issue of food prices remain a concern for the population and is a complex issue. He added that it was important to remain focused on meeting the challenges of the pandemic along with all stakeholders. SAT also revisited the list in the national interest to ensure consumers can access relief in the removal of VAT during what was described as an irregular period for food price inflation. Dipti added that Colin Imbert and ministers in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning, led an initiative with SAT to examine further the removal of VAT from basic food and have committed to review the list given the backdrop of the pandemic. So viewers, we took the initiative. You know what? Once it is a matter of public concerns and it is a serious issue, you know, we get in touch with the heads. So we took the opportunity tonight to contact the president of the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rajiv Dipti. Good night, my friend.
Good night, my friend. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Glad you could join us tonight.
Most welcome, Saieed.
So what are your thoughts on the revised list of VAT-free items? But first, before you answer that, Mr. Rajiv, before you answer that, give me your take on the national budget.
Well, okay, that's a very good way to open the discussion. So when we looked at the budget, I have to admit I was probably more pessimistic than most persons because of the lack of earnings, the declines, everything. I think what will concern most persons, including myself, is the continued deficit financing aspect of the budget. We saw that $42 million is what they hope to collect in revenue. There's also some concerns about what the pegged price of oil and gas is to achieve that, and also with regards to the collections of things like the taxes, and there are certain things in the budget that, I mean, obviously you cannot. I don't think that. I think that there's something in there for everyone, but certainly it's a lot better than I expected, because, as I said earlier, I wasn't very hopeful. However, what is missing for me is a long-term economic recovery aspect that we need to focus on in the post-vaccination period, in the post-lockdown period, in the post-state of emergency period. So we're looking towards 2022, and we want to know that there is a tiered plan for recovery, and also to, import substitution, diversification, the typical things that we all roll off the tongue when it's budget time, size.
Now, what are your thoughts on the revised list of VAT-free items?
So, I think we have to give it a little backdrop here. The food price situation has been very crazy, for lack of a better word. At this time, we've seen months and months of frequent price increases, and I think that we've had some a lot of conversation on it in the lead up to the budget and certainly after the budget. And one of the items I was describing earlier is that as the leading nations come out of the lockdown period, we've seen what's going on in the United States and China. Just yesterday, CNN reported that there were over 60 or 100 ships off the Los Angeles Palm Beach major port of entry into the United States, and it was a crazy situation. And the way it was described is that this is how an economy snaps back out of lockdown, because we're seeing that in the first world nations, for example, one of the main ways that they purchase goods on the whole is through online delivery.
Yes.
And this really created a situation where shipping lanes and containers were just backed up, and this has had a domino effect on the value chain to the extent that it created a serious demand and supply problem. We're seeing empty shelves. So where there is scarcity, there's going to be higher food prices and higher prices on the whole. So this is something that the whole world is dealing with, and I think that the government recognized, as well as we have been saying for some time, that there's not much we can do about it, because as long as we're not growing it, making it, processing it, we have to import it. And
yes.
Sadly, we all know the problems with foreign exchange.
Correct, yes.
One of the things that we talked about was hoping to get more foreign exchange through the Exim Bank for the importers, and that has been given a green light. So you know that is another fail-safe for 21 to 22. And again, so what they realized they could do was, from the side of VAT, to look at the basic food items to see what could be worked through. Now, there was an engagement with SAT in the final days leading up to the budget. It was a little bit late, in my opinion, and we did what we could with them. Now, one of the things that happened after the reading of the budget is that we sat down again, and there was an appetite by the minister to expand the list of basic food items. So most of what is on that list is what we supply. And just to get into it a little bit, you know, that first line that says unprocessed foods for human consumption, that references items like potato, dal, chicken. Remember, these things are not processed and they're sold to the consumer. So we try to make sure that those things were covered as well. You know, I hear people talk about flour, rice, and sugar, but the basic flour has no VAT, and the sugar, I believe the brown sugar has no VAT. The white sugar is vatable, because according to them, that's the one that has the higher risk of diabetes. And so it goes, you know, the cooking oils, etc. We got into that with the canola. We tried to expand it beyond pigtail because we listened to people, and we understood that we had to give back more. I think you'll see seasoned meats as well now on that list. So seasoned chicken, and after it's been processed with the seasoning, it's now VAT free. So I mean, from a consumer perspective, it's not bad. It's not great either, because the situation, as reported by CNN yesterday, is showing signs of recovering right now. But certainly, it helps at this time size.
Now, do you think, Mr. Rajiv, do you think the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago should expect a price increase in grocery items in the coming months?
Well, you know, one of the things that we just talked about is that as a net importer of food, that is Trinidad and Tobago, right? We're buying everything on the international market. So when I go to the source is in the foreign country. It could be North America or Canada or Argentina or Latin America, right? Now, when I go to the source in one of those territories, depending on their situation of demand and supply,
yes,
whatever the price is that they have to sell it to me at is what I will take it at. So just based on the trends that we're seeing right now, there's been a flattening. So over the past few months, you would have seen the curve go up on the price US dollar price per container of shipping, right? So that has kind of flattened out right now around $16,000 to $16,000 a container.
Yes.
And that's because containers are finite. And there are a lot of issues with other raw materials around the world. Now, I think that we're going to see a little bit of a plateauing right now. And again, that's based on trends that we've seen in the international market. And we're hoping that is a situation that kind of irons itself out, because as they see what's happening at the major ports, they're trying to take steps to fix it. And this issue with food prices is inextricably tied back to the pandemic, the vaccination. I heard one of your callers talk about vaccination, but it's for the same reason that people not vaccinated, that the factories in North America, for example, they're working at 50 or 75% capacity. So even though people ordering, they're clicking on the mouse, on the keyboard, on the screen, on the monitor, and they're ordering goods, even though they're ordering goods, it's not speeding up the process in the factory, it's not speeding up the delivery of goods to be transported, and we're going to see, this situation continuing. So everybody in the world right now is going through a little bit of what we're going through, because Trinidad and Tobago is a microcosm of what's happening outside.
Yes.
And that is something we're going to have to continue to monitor on the international market. I really feel for the customers, it's a tough time. And what we try to do with the basic food items is really make it appreciable for the consumer to be able to stretch the dollar and have maybe have a little bit extra to spend in the groceries. I don't want to see any more increases, but as I said, what we need as a nation now is to look at import substitution strategies, and they need to have a real appetite by those relevant statutory bodies to get involved and do it. Because I keep telling everybody, at the end of the day, we are not the government. We're very open to the idea of public-private partnerships to develop and work real solutions and make a dent into the food import bill. Even this week, I was on a call with the Caribbean Agribusiness Association. It was an initiative led by the President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali. And there was a conversation about the import situation in the Caribbean, because this same thing that we're going through in Trinidad is happening in Jamaica, it's happening in Barbados, it's happening in Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. And what the conversation revolves around is this idea of Caribbean production helping each other out. Because if the goods come in from too far, it's too expensive. Let's try to help. Let one person make something and buy from them. Let another one make something and buy from them. And it was this idea of working within the region to boost exports within the region. And there was also the discussion side, and this part was particularly interesting to me, that the perception that things produced in the Caribbean is subpar and below the quality of production that you're seeing a good coming from North America, for example, or Europe or Canada. And that this is a mindset problem within the Caribbean basin, because the import culture has lasted here for so many decades. It's very difficult now to shift the consumer who is spending their money towards the Caribbean-based products. And that is something that will take time, because when you look at the cheaper costs that you could buy something for abroad as opposed to making it, because the local cost of production tends to be higher, that's another thing to take into consideration. So we have quite a few factors playing into the game where the import substitution talks take place, and where you work within the region as well and work within your own basket of goods. So people have to get creative now. They need to shift the taste. At the end of the day, the consumer is the one with the power. Instead of consuming traditional flour, when you look at what we have in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a lot of provision. We have cassava, we have potato. If I were to make a cassava or potato-based flour and then tell a consumer that they have to buy that now and make a roti from cassava-based flour, you think they would like it? I'm not sure.
I understand.
So that is something for discussion, all these different ideas as we move forward and we realize that our US dollars is growing ever more finite side.
My friend, I do want to thank you for joining us tonight and enlightening the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago what is taking place in the Supermarket Association in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Said. Thank you. Always a pleasure, my friend. My blessings to you and the team.
You too, my friend.
Take care.
So viewers, that was Rajiv Dipti, President of the Supermarket Association in Trinidad and Tobago, giving us a little update on what is taking place in the groceries and supermarkets around Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, when we come back, we're going to touch on Colin Imbut and his zero-rated list.
Are you looking for the right investment? Are you looking for a greater return on your hard-earned cash? Look no further. Contact RealTalk Group of Companies located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. At RealTalk Investment, you can earn up to 3.5% interest on your 3-year investment. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Do contact us now on 339-1670, 238-6716 for further information. Our helpful team is ready to assist. RealTalk Investment. Real people matter to us. This ad was paid for by RealTalk Group of Companies Limited.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Minister of Finance Colin Imbud have been informed that the popular seasoning and spice, which he includes in a list of food items to be exempted from VAT, is already VAT 0 rated. Question about the error. At the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association post-budget seminar, the minister said that was a typographical error. Imbud stated, "I don't advise myself." He added that in preparing the list, the Board of Inland Revenue, Custom and Excise Division, and the Supermarket Association looked at the tax on items and removed it from all of them.
In preparing the list, what I did as Minister of Finance, I don't advise myself, because that's not a good idea. So that I got the Customs and Excise Division and the Board of Inland Revenue to look at all of the taxes on imported items. And we also consulted with the Supermarket Association. And the list of items that I read out was based on research done by the technocrats in the Ministry of Finance, Customs and Excise, Board of Inland Revenue, Supermarkets Association. If it is in fact a zero-rated item, well, that is clearly a typographical error.
Now, viewers, Imbud stated that this error does not take away from the intent of the VAT exemptions. However, he added that there are still items which will attract VAT, like salt, a variety of sugar. Imbud added that there will be no exemption on these items because they did not go in line with government drive to promote healthier lifestyle.
But that doesn't deal with the intent, because the intent was to go through the list of items that are commonly purchased by ordinary people in a supermarket and see which of those still attract value-added tax and remove value-added tax from all of those items. And that is why I called out things like bottled water. What I did not do, salt apparently and sugar of a certain variety apparently attract value-added tax, and we intend to keep that there. Because as we move towards healthy lifestyles, those are not things that we want to encourage.
So that's what he said. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
My friend, go right ahead.
How could you, a whole line item which you put on, call that typographical? What does this feel that the whole Trinidad is PNM supporters? My other point I want to make, sir, did they come to this to read a budget just vibe? They don't know what how they run in this country, vibe. Now, when we're talking about safe zone, people must go into safe zone. When these people go into the safe zone or coming out of the safe zone, for example, like the school and all these places, when they finish school, what sort of maxi does they have? Like safe zone maxi or safe maxi? What about it? Have safe grocery and all these other places that people would go? If they have to mix, what about the all these transport and all? This thing is foolishness. Way foolishness them doing. Now I want to ask you, sir. Why don't they implement a system? Give every family that die $1 million who take the vaccine, and the whole country would be vaccinated within a matter of days. Why can't you take that liability? Because you are not sure about it. Look in Tobago, somebody died fully vaccinated. What is it they have to say about that now? What it is they have to say about that now? You are talking about a healthy lifestyle. When you have people don't get water, when you have people don't get water in the tap, How could they live healthy lifestyle when people are suffering? So you see this whole case with this lockdown side is that way from before when they're having this lockdown to win election. I mean, I don't know if they win or not, but when they say they win election, all this was unnecessary. What is different from then to now? Everybody is going about their business. So you see all these things is just to bring suffering to the people. You know, it is that people stand up and claim and demand their right. We are in charge. We put them there, and if they cannot do the work, let them get the hell out of it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. I would agree with you. If they can't do the work, resign and go home. So remember a couple of days back, I was asking Colin Imbert if the building in Port of Spain is his own. Remember that? Remember I was asking you all that, and we showed the building. We showed where he exempted himself from paying property tax. Well, yesterday I was informed of the contractor that got the contractor paying the building. I was like, wow. Wow. So there's a penalty for you, the homeowners. There is a penalty for you, the homeowners, if you do not submit your property tax. But Mr. Colin Imbert exempted himself until 2025. So Colin get exempted on his rental building. Colin get tax exemption on his yacht. And Colin got tax exemption on his vehicles. While you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, have to scrape up a 5 cent from this corner, a 10 cent from that corner, a 25 cent from on the back step, and make up all your money to go and pay all the property tax. Otherwise, you will be fined of $5,000. We love Colin. Colin, we love you. You are loved by Trinidad and Tobago. That is the same man digging out of your eye. All you can't see that. We in love. They really say love is a blinded thing. They really say love is a blinded thing. Look at the building. Somebody called me and said, Saieed, I have phone. I know who's the man who paid the building. I said, eh? When he called out name, I was shocked. I said, what? I said, what? But he said to you, if you don't pay your property tax, there's a penalty of $5,000 while he exempted himself from paying property tax. We like it so. Oh, good. Left foot, right foot. Huh? That's what we like. That's what we like. And when somebody stand up now and put it to all you what is taking place in front of your eyes that you all cannot see. Oh God, he bad talking PNM and listen this and listen that and hear how he bad talking the administration. The administration putting you in pressure and you can't see that. They putting you in pressure and you can't see that. But what are you going to do? We like it so. We like it so. Call a good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
My friend, go right ahead.
Saeed, you know this whole train one with this money with the laws is $450 million, right? You know, I was reading up on the said article and they were saying that, listen to me carefully here, BPTT and Shell did not invest. They're saying it's $300 million, right? They invest in Train 1. Either one of the companies did not want to make that investment. You know why the government made that investment according to CNC3? Because they did not want to be ashamed of Train 1 crashing. So they invest all our money now, right? Listen to what I'm saying carefully here. They invest all our money into Train 1. And Train 1 cannot produce the gas. So they waste all our money. You tell me this making sense, eh? You invest $300 million, so they say, in Train 1. But now you're coming to bend people back with property tax.
Yep, to make back money.
To get $101 million. That making any sense to you? So we're bending people back to get $101 million when they could have saved $300 million if you take the advice from Shell and BPTT. And then you're coming now, this stupid Prime Minister, coming now
to talk down to we and telling we that he have confidence in the man that make the decision.
Yeah.
That making any sense? All you're wasting we money, squandering we money, and then all you have to bend we back to build back up the money in treasury. I don't understand that. That ain't making sense to me.
Thank you, my friend. But that's the type of leader we have in Trinidad. That is the type. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that the police service is functioning effectively despite being without a substantive commissioner of police and despite the collapse of the Police Service Commission, that's the PSC. The PM stated that the issue has nothing or anything to burn down the country over. The PSC have been in hey, these people good, you know. The PSC have been in controversy over the appointment of police commissioner, which led to a total collapse of the commission, with all members submitting their resignation over a 10-day period. Sad, eh? Sad. Question on the issue. Rowley stated that the situation is a straightforward one to resolve. The PM said that there are many persons who are overreacting that there is not a police commissioner. He added that the rest of the police service is intact and functioning as normal because of the rank situation.
Because I've seen a lot of people, I don't want to say overreacting, but responding to the fact that there isn't a commission and there isn't a police commissioner. Understand that the police service is a place that it's a paramilitary organization that has rank and responsibility. What is absent now is a police service commission. And I'm sure that members of the commission are now discovering how important and how loved they were. So now that they're missed. The rest of the police service is intact, functioning as normal because of the rank situation. The sergeant is still the sergeant, the inspector is still the inspector, the senior superintendent is still the superintendent. What is absent is the commissioner and those specific commissioner things.
The Prime Minister said the only thing not functioning as normal is the granting of firearm users license, as only the commissioner can sign these documents. Boy, hey, the amount of thing went on, is a whole bacchanal went on, you know. The Police Service Commission, who have power, who could appoint, who don't have power, who cannot appoint, who should be there, who shouldn't be there, who acted on their own, who not supposed to do this. It's real bacchanal, you know. It's real bacchanal. So viewers, before we go any further, and I forgot to do what I have to do, I have some vehicles for sale. I have my Mercedes-Benz, $200,000. Beautiful vehicle. I have the Range Rover. That's my Range Rover. $275,000. And I also have a BT50 Mazda pickup. Have it there? So viewers, now with this vehicle, Mercedes-Benz, 200,000, the Range Rover, 275,000, and I also have a Mazda 4-door BT50 pickup. Is a new model. All you have to do is make a down payment of 75% of the money. For instance, the BMW, $150,000, I will give you time to pay the next $50,000. The Range Rover, $225,000 or $250,000, I will give you time to pay the next 25 or 30. And with the BT50, you all have the BT50, guys? Right. a BT50 Mazda pickup, new model. TVP is a high series. You can see we have rims also on it. 5-forward power window, power locks, power mirrors. $125,000. We financing, you come with $100,000, I will give you time to pay the next $25,000. You know, well, I used to always buy and sell cars. I did stuff for a short time, and I'm starting back. Everybody wants to make money, you know, and I'm making it legal. So viewers, friends and family, you're looking for a top-of-the-line vehicle, feel free to contact me. So we're staying on the PM, viewers. The PM stated that there is no constitutional crisis and nothing to burn down the country over.
Other than that, the police service is functioning and waiting for the filling of that vacancy, and we as a country, we are waiting for the replacement of those people who have left the Police Service Commission. And I don't think that we should get overly excited about that. I've seen all kinds of things being spoken and all kinds of constitutional crisis. There's none. There's no constitutional crisis about that. Nothing to burn down the country over.
Nothing to burn down the country over. The search is on for a new member of the Police Service Commission, and the President Paula May Weeks will select those who are required and qualified and willing to serve. County Medical Officer of the Health for Tobago, Dr. Tiffany Hoyt, has revealed that the first patient to contract the Delta COVID-19 variant on the island was fully vaccinated. She said, while being fully vaccinated decreased the risk of infection, a person can still contract COVID-19.
Just interestingly to note, when speaking to the individual yesterday, when I would have informed them that they tested positive for the Delta variant, the person who was indicated, well, they found it strange because they were feeling perfectly fine, they had absolutely no symptoms. And I would have reminded them that this person, so the person is fully vaccinated, just to know, and that's the advantage of being fully vaccinated, that it assures, well, not assures 100%, but it really decreases the risk of being infected, but you can still become infected. But we know for persons who are infected but fully vaccinated, they tend to have less severe disease.
Elaborating on benefits of getting vaccinated, Minister of Health Terence Diasing indicated that over 95% of hospitalized COVID-19 patients are not fully vaccinated. He stated that the parallel healthcare system is being populated by the unvaccinated.
It means the parallel healthcare system, the step-down facilities, are being populated by the unvaccinated. And what is even more sad is that by now we should have had no person, or literally very little number of deaths due to COVID-19. Why? Because once you are fully vaccinated, you stand, CMO, is it 99? A little under 99% chance of not dying from COVID. But yet every day we're still getting these deaths. So we continue to share the information, make vaccines easily available, and we ask persons to get vaccinated.
Dr. Tiffany Hoyt has revealed that the first patient to contract the Delta variant of COVID-19 in Tobago was fully vaccinated. So how this clown could come up on a press media briefing and said, You can't die if you're fully vaccinated. That is the prime. That is the prime individual that is leading health in Trinidad and Tobago. Run back that video again. Run back that video again.
It means the parallel healthcare system, the step-down facilities, are being populated by the unvaccinated. And what is even more sad is that by now we should have had no person, or literally very little number of deaths due to COVID-19. Why? Because once you are fully vaccinated, you stand, CMO, is it 99? A little under 99% chance of not dying from COVID. But yet every day we're still getting these deaths. So we continue to share the information, make vaccines easily available, and we ask persons to get vaccinated.
I'll just say what a man say. That is the prime individual that is running health in Trinidad and Tobago. When I come in here night after night and telling all you and asking all you, what is the difference between a vaccinated and an unvaccinated getting the COVID-19? None of them cannot say nothing. Nobody cannot say nothing. Hear what they're doing now. They cannot make it mandatory for you to take the vaccine. They cannot do that. It's against human rights. Hear the smart thing. They're making sure that business owners are vaccinated in order to open their business. Vaccinate to operate, the Prime Minister said. If you're not vaccinated and you have a business, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? How many business owners are there in Trinidad and Tobago that are not fully vaccinated or are not vaccinated? What is going to happen to their business? What is going to happen to their business? If you are not vaccinated, you cannot enter into an establishment. That is where they are using tactics. They are using tactics to make sure you're vaccinated. What happened to you after that is your business. That is not our responsibility. That is not our responsibility. You want to operate? You have to vaccinate. Why? The policy is vaccinate to operate. So what is going to happen to the economy in Trinidad and Tobago? Pretty soon. When the unvaccinated people don't have the sufficient fund every 2 weeks to do a PCR test to carry to their boss, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are we going forward? Are we going forward? I'm asking you. You look at it. Analyze it for yourself. And tell me the answer that you come up with. The only way you can open your business is if you're vaccinated. They cannot make it a law for you to take the vaccine. It's sad, you know, boy. We want to move in the 21st century. Digitalized system. But you're forcing us. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. But that is our leader. And we like what our leader is doing. We like it. But nevertheless, for the business owners who do not take the vaccine and The people that are sick and cannot take the vaccine because of sulfur, what's going to happen to them? A business owner called me and she said, Saeed, I cannot take sulfur into my body. I cannot take that vaccine. So what is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to me? How will I survive? Every time sulfurs come into my body, I have a reaction, allergic reaction. I have my loan to pay for business. I have mortgage on my house. I have mortgage on my car. What's going to happen to me? It's sad, you know. It's sad. But this is the how they say, the new world order that we are living in. How do we stand for ourselves when our rights have been suspended as a citizen? How can I say no to this vaccine? How can I say no? You see, all the time there were deaths in the hospitals, and no ministry came out and published it. No ministry. Gone are the days of heart attack. Gone are the days of kidney failure. Gone are the days of lung failure. Gone are the days of pneumonia fever. All those sickness got a passport and they left Trinidad. So now an individual now who died from a heart attack, and he's positive with COVID-19, they're using the COVID-19, they say, well, he died from COVID-19. When last did the Ministry of Health in a press briefing said, well, 10% died of heart attack, but they had COVID-19 virus? When last you hear that from the ministry? You're not hearing that. You're not hearing that. Everything is COVID, is COVID, is COVID. So for the business people who cannot take the vaccine, what's going to happen? How are they going to pay their bills? Terrence, I'm calling you, asking you a question. Asking the CMO. How come you all didn't put a policy on the groceries, on the supermarkets, on the pharmacies? How come you all didn't put a safe zone on those places? How come? The blind leading the blind in Trinidad and Tobago. The blind leading the blind. And when somebody stand up and talk about it, oh, he this, he that, he the next, he bad talking the administration, here how we talking about Rowley, and here how we talking about the health minister, Terrence. Oh, God, side good for nothing. When you submit your property tax and you get 5,000, then you go say, Saeed, how come you didn't stand up for we? Where your mouth gone, Saeed? You want to see where the mouth gone? Drop the pigtail video. Drop the pigtail video. All you want to see where the mouth gone? When you have to pay your property tax, and you get your 5,000 to go to court, watch how you're going to be going. Come back. You see that? That's how you're going to be going when you get the 5,000. Because Colin Membert exempted himself from property tax. He got exempted on his yacht. He got exempted on vehicles. That's your finance minister. And we like it so. When I come in here night after night and educating you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, Said, you bad talking, call him. You bad talking the Prime Minister. Let's talk now. Talk now. I want to hear, let's say something. Because I brought facts to you. I brought facts to you of the kind of exemptions Colin in both got. You see how we winding down there? Man, when you hear the court send you an invitation to come to court for not paying property tax, you see how we going? You're going to be begging by the magistrate like that. You're going to be kneeling down in front of the magistrate. Oh God, Your Honor. Oh God. Property tax coming. Property tax coming. And I like call him. I found out who was the contractor who painted the building. I have all my facts, you know. But I just give it in time. In time. When you go to purchase a vehicle and they say 40,000, you don't have no exemption there, you know, it's 40,000. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight. It's back on all Thursday. Remember, we have a rerun tomorrow being Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. So viewers, if you're looking for a beautiful vehicle to buy, a Mercedes-Benz, a Range Rover, or a pickup, you can check me. Pay around $100,000 on the pickup, and I'm giving you a couple of months to pay off the rest. So viewers, until we meet again, I am Saieed Ali, and you're viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Good night.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.